Have you ever been in the middle of teaching and thought, wait, did that even make sense? And you look around and realize it didn't, and students are either confused or in a completely different pose. This is because cueing is one of the hardest parts of teaching yoga. Even when you know a pose inside and out, finding the right words to guide students is still difficult. But the good news is, once you know the mistakes to avoid and the things to say instead, your classes become instantly clearer. And I know this because I teach over 1 million students every year, and the number one compliment I get is how clear my cues are. And this isn't by accident, it's because I learned what mistakes to avoid. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 most common mistakes and what to say instead so that you can cue with more confidence and cut through the confusion. Mistake number 1 is copying cues without questioning them. And by this I mean, say you hear a cue from a teacher and you think it sounds pretty good, so you start copying it. But you don't question the effectiveness of that cue. Now, maybe you're already thinking, oh my gosh, I've done that. I have been a culprit of this too. I used to hear things that I thought sounded really beautiful, but I never questioned how much my students understood what I was saying. Things like spiral the ribs, shine the heart forwards, even basic cues that I think we've all used from time to time, like square the hips. When you put yourself in a beginner's shoes, are they really going to understand what that means? Probably not. So here are some alternatives to take those confusing cues and simplify them. Instead of spiral the rib cage open, try turn your chest to the side. Instead of square the hips, say keep your hips level, or point both hip bones towards the front of the mat. Instead of open the heart, say roll your shoulders back and lift the chest. Instead of root down through the sits bones, try press your sitting bones evenly into the mat. So the key is to strip your cues back to their simplest form so that it's easier for your students to act on them. Mistake number 2 is saying too much. And I find this is because people often think that the more that they say, the more people will understand them. But actually, I found it's the opposite. The more you say, the more chance people will get confused by what you are saying. So let me give you an example. Imagine you are in Warrior 2. I could say, spin your back foot open, and right away, you know what to do. Or I could say, externally rotate your back heel so that your second toe and the center of your ankle are parallel to the back edge of the mat. Now, it's technically accurate, but it's likely most students are lost halfway through that sentence. Here's another example. In Downward Dog, I could say, root down evenly through the metacarpals of your index fingers while creating axial extension from the sacrum through the crown of the head. But who the hell knows what that means? And as a teacher, if I received that cue, I'd be thinking, how unnecessary, when you could say, grip the mat with your fingertips and lift your hips high. This makes it so much easier for your students to understand and avoids anybody feeling stupid because they don't know anatomical terminology. Because most people don't. And this leads me into mistake number 3, which is making options unequal. So here's something I hear quite often. If you can, do wheel. If you can't, do bridge. And what this translates to in a lot of students' minds is wheel equals better, bridge equals worse. And it positions them unequally because you presented them that way. One is better, one is worse. Whereas a more inclusive way to cue is simply to say option 2 or option 2. So here's some examples of exclusive cueing versus inclusive cueing. For plank pose, an exclusive cue could be, if you can't hold plank, just drop your knees. Whereas an inclusive cue is option 1, full plank. Option 2, knees down. Here's another example for forward fold. Exclusive, if you can't reach the floor, use blocks. Inclusive, option 1, hands to the mat. Option 2, hands on blocks. Do you see the difference? One ranks the variations and the other one presents them equally. And when you cue in this way, your students will thank you. And I know because I frequently receive comments from people saying, thank you for making me feel okay about taking a modification. like I didn't need to push my body beyond what it was capable of because it didn't feel like a competition. That's the power of inclusive cueing.